Welcome back to another snippet of Eden Hour. We are live at Solana, Miami, speaking with creators and friends and other ecosystem partners. Who are you?
I'm Jared from DG Labs. I'm one of the two founders. Greg, who you'll meet soon, is my partner in this, and we're an NFT art gallery.
Nice.
Yeah.
How are you feeling in Miami? Where are you originally based?
So we're 45 minutes up the road.
Okay,
we're in
awesome.
South Florida. So he's in Boca, I'm in Delray Beach, and so when we heard Solana Miami, we're like, we're in.
Yeah, I think that's how we got connected too. It's like, oh, you're in Miami, or we're coming to Miami.
Yeah.
Sweet. How did you get into NFTs?
So I got into NFTs actually through NBA Top Shot, and that brought me into ETH, and then the gas fees obviously were brutal, and then that got me into Solana, and I've been in Solana ever since, and I just love everything about NFTs except for the scams and the rugs, obviously. So I got scammed and rugged a couple times early on.
Oh, what was your first rug?
Oh man,
One never forgets.
Oh, I'm embarrassed to talk about it. It was this like game on BSC, Binance Smart Chain, and it was like an old school. It looked like an old school 80s like side scrolling game.
Yeah.
And they released an NFT, and they had some tokens, and there were warning signs everywhere. I was Googling them, and there was like a website and YouTube videos in like Russian, Korean, Chinese, like a couple other languages, and I bought the token. I bought one or two of the NFTs, watched the token do this, and then boom, and then Twitter gone,
Brutal.
Discord gone, Telegram gone, everything gone. I was just like, wow. All right.
All right, well, rugs
I
are the
made it.
reason why we need really strong projects. So
I
tell us
agree.
a little bit
I
about DG Labs and what you're trying to build.
Yeah, so we're trying to build, we're trying to bridge the gap between physical and digital. My partner Greg has been a real world artist for 14, 15 years now. So after getting rugged, after getting scammed, after seeing all the derivatives, everything, I wanted to create an NFT project that was open, transparent, and I'm an entrepreneur. So for me, it was, okay, let's build a real brand that'll be here for the next decade, the next 2 decades. You know, we're not looking at this as let's launch one thing and then we're done.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at let's create a legitimate business inside of the NFT space, and we decided on Solana because of the energy costs are so low and the transaction fees are so low and the speed of the transaction. So that was kind of the beginning, and I reached out to Greg, who I've known for 25 years, and I said, buddy, let's start an NFT company. And he was like, I'm in. And I remember teaching him how to do the layers and everything, and he couldn't get it because he's used to doing a whole painting. And I was like, no, buddy, just the eyes.
Yeah.
Just 15 sets of eyes. He's like, but how does it make it? I'm like, I don't know, the computer program makes it. So it was a fun learning experience, but we got through it. We launched our first project in mid-December.
What's it called?
So it's 777 Dope Pandas, and the background is pandas had just had an apocalyptic event, and now they're searching the Solana forest trying to find survivors of the apocalypse.
All right, cool. And how's the collection gone, and what are you working on next?
So the collection was a big learning experience. We did not have, we weren't ready when we launched. We just set a date and launched instead of delaying and building the community bigger. So we launched in mid-December, and we didn't sell out until January 27th. So it took 6 weeks, but it was not a big collection, but it's okay because we learned, we built a solid base of our community. We created the foundation, which is so important with any business. And then since then, we've been working on getting ready for the next project, growing, evolving, getting everything ready. And what we're about is, like I said, the combo of the digital and the physical. So we're developing little 3D figurines that you can put on your desk of the 3D pandas. We're working with a 3D artist that we're bringing into the ecosystem, and one thing we want to do is create, as we grow and evolve, a scholarship program or an onboarding program for artists who might not know about NFTs, who might be somewhere in the world where they don't have access to the following, but they're an A+ artist. We want to be able to bring them into the DG Labs family and create a launch for them and have it be part of our ecosystem. That's something else that we're working on that we're proud of. But the first collection went well. It's basically sitting just under 2x of the mint price. That's great.
Well done.
And as a thank you to anybody who owns a dope panda, they get a free 3D panda from the next launch. That's our
Right.
way of saying thank you. You know, it's always how can we give back? What can we do to give more and make our holders happy? So
Got
that's,
it.
you know, a big important piece.
Welcome back to another quick talk at Eden Hour. My name is Tiffany. I lead marketing for Magic Eden, and you are?
My name is Greg G. Stackis, an artist with DG Labs.
Cool. And we are both in Miami for Solana Miami. And Greg is actually painting today, right?
Yeah,
What are
we're
you
doing a
working on?
live painting for Magic Eden. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. So tell me about yourself. You're an artist and you've
Correct.
gotten involved in the NFT world. So maybe before we talk about NFTs, just tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I started my art career in Greece.
Are you Greek?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So I moved to Greece at 19 and I lived there with, believe it or not, I lived in a monastery. The monks there are the ones that taught me how to paint and
Oh,
tell the
wow,
story
cool.
through art. And so after 2 years there, I was ordained an iconographer, which is pretty interesting. It's the same thing as Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci, so that was cool. And
Oh,
they teach you how to
casual.
tell stories, you know.
Wow. Okay.
Right after Greece, I got into digital art, and that was around 2012.
What kind of stuff were you painting in Greece?
The icons inside of churches.
Ah,
if you go
I
to
see.
cathedrals or big churches there, the artwork of the saints and religious figures.
Got it. Hence being ordained.
Yes.
That process. Got it.
Correct,
Okay.
correct, yeah.
Cool.
And after that, I came back to the States and I got right into digital art, just as a means to enhance my ability to tell a story.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did digital art for 10 years now. And then NFTs became a thing, and so that was kind of an easy transition. So Jared, my partner, was like, we should do a project. And so we did.
Nice.
And Solana was the go-to.
So you went from like working and creating artwork on priests and religious figures to pandas.
Yeah.
What has that transition been like?
I know, it's so funny. Everyone's like, I didn't know you loved pandas so much. It's not
Well, I
really,
guess for
yeah.
people who don't like, you want to tell us about the pandas in the collection.
Yeah, so the panda came about when I needed a logo for my clothing line that I started, and one of my investors was like, "Dude, we need a logo," and so the company, the brand was called No Label, and so we thought of what would be a good logo for that, and we decided to go with the panda because it's black, white, and Asian all in one. So kind of had this unified meaning to it, and so we thought that was a great idea, and I started drawing pandas, and then people started asking me to paint them. Meanwhile, it was just supposed to be a logo, so I started painting them. The clothing line never went anywhere, but then the panda became kind of some sort of sensation. you
Got
know?
it.
Yeah.
Cool. So you started painting pandas, and then DG Labs happened after that.
Yeah.
So
Way
tell us
after.
what is DG Labs, how you got involved, and how the pandas made it to DG Labs.
So my company was called Dope Gallery, and then when Jared came to me about an NFT project, we decided to open up a sub branch called DG Labs, Dope Gallery Labs, as an NFT studio. So we started that probably going on a year now, maybe 8-9 months, something like that. And we launched our first project on Magic Eden through Solana. And
Dope Pandas.
The Dope Pandas, yeah. We sold out of all 777. And now we're working on a new project, 3D Pandas.
Cool.
Yeah.
Really exciting. How has the challenge been moving from traditional art and now digital art and now NFT art?
It was a super smooth transition because once you got the iPad and you had, the stylist, it was kind of like right at home. So it was a very easy transition. And again, we were doing it, back in 2012. So it was kind of almost a no-brainer. It was the smoothest transition ever.
Yeah.
And it's been incredible so far.
What do you think are some of the hurdles for artists to actually get involved in NFTs?
I think it's a lack of knowledge, awareness of how to do it, how to onboard, your art and get it sold and minted and that kind of thing. I think there's just a large disparity between what people know and what it takes to sell out a project or to mint it. But it's just a learning curve. I think over time, people, especially artists, are going to find that it's not as hard as they think. And once you wrap your head around it, it'll be kind of become more smooth, I think.
A lot of artists, I'm sure, are skeptical of NFTs. Were you ever skeptical?
No. It was confusing at first. But I understood the premise. I love the idea that you were able to create an asset out of digital art, which was cool because again we had so many. Thanks, bro. We had so many artworks that were digitized, so it was really just a no-brainer.
what is a word of advice you would give to other artists who are involved in NFTs? Like, how do you need to think differently than you would, under a non-NFT context in order to succeed in the long run?
It's a good question. I would say to work on building your community. It's really a community-driven industry, which is slightly different than in the real world. As a traditional artist, it's not so much a community-driven thing. It's more building a collector base. But in the NFT community, it's all about getting feedback and interacting with your followers.
Right. And co-creating alongside.
Yeah. And being very open and transparent, which is so cool. That's my favorite thing about the whole space. Is like your community is it's like your family in a sense. And you now have a responsibility and a duty to them. So as an artist, I would advise to, do whatever you can for your community. Like we're giving away custom Air Force Ones, live like paintings, anything that we can do to show the community that we're here for the long run and that we're serious about creating the dopest art that we possibly can and getting it out to our following. It's really, I think that's.
Welcome back to another quick talk at Solana Miami. My name is Tiff. I manage marketing for Magic Eden. Why don't we just go around? You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah.
First of all, I'm speaking with Matrica. Hey! All right, go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Dushan, also known as Tranquil. Yeah, my name is
you're
Olen.
Tranquil.
Yeah, he is
Okay.
Tranquil. My name is Olen. I am OA.
I'm Zell, Zach Zell, is how I go by.
Nice. Yeah, so I've been speaking with these guys on Discord since October, and it's
Something
so
like
great
that,
to
yeah.
finally see all of you in person.
There you go.
We did a Twitter space with you guys back in October. I think then in early November we did an activation at NFT NYC, and now here we are 6 months later. So glad to see we're still here and you're still here.
Yeah. Everyone is still around there for
Building.
now.
Yeah.
Building for the space. So you're still in the marketplace.
Yeah.
You're still in the NFT/social platform.
Yeah. So tell me about it. So Matrica does a lot. You guys do art. You do generative art, which you can see on the t-shirts. And then you also do a lot of tech and building. So it's kind of hard to explain. You guys want to just take us through your pitch?
Yeah, like in October we launched as a generative art project, like you can see here. But we always had the intention of building Web3 applications, and that's what we're doing right now. I mean, they are connected, but right now we're focusing on any kind of DAO tooling, anything that NFT communities need. So like Discord verification, sales bot. We're going to be releasing DAO voting in the next week or so. Having a few projects test that right now. So we're just going to keep building. Ultimately though, we want to build a social network built for crypto people, for NFT people.
So you guys tell us a little bit more about that. You have messaging functions coming out.
Yeah, like follow, unfollow, social feed that includes blockchain activity, what people are minting, whatever you want to share basically onto your feed. So you can, gain alpha more quickly, more succinctly than having to go through hundreds of Discords and read announcement channels and things like that. So we're just trying to streamline that process.
Right.
Yeah,
So
and,
go ahead.
Yeah, and this is NFT first, right? So it's not like Instagram or Facebook where you put a picture of yourself. It's like NFT first. So your avatar and your banner and all the content on your page is NFT based.
Yeah, I think people are familiar with these pages because they use that to verify themselves in Discords for communities, but it'll be cool to see what you can do to activate that page and bring it to life. Tell us about the art side, that's how I know you guys, about the generative art.
We like the art.
Yeah, we like art.
We do.
Okay, tell me about the collection you guys are wearing.
Yeah, this is the Pixels collection. This is actually from, this particular one is from an upcoming release called Orphans. That's about 32 NFTs that didn't make it into the original collection that people really like, so we're going to release them. We're actually going to do an auction for each of them, and the proceeds we're going to use to fund the community wallet and also buy and burn some pixels because we're trying to reduce the supply and have it be community curated. So we're going to set up a DAO and the community is going to decide what to burn, things like that, and help navigate the direction of the project.
Nice. For the normies, what is generative art?
Generative art is basically art that you make with code, programmatic.
And then how is your art generative? Tell us a little bit about.
Yeah, so I can show you kind of what we do. Basically, our program steps through every single spot in this grid, in this particular example, and based on certain randomizations, choose the color, like the size of the pixel, like different things like that, the pattern.
Position.
Yeah.
And what are some of the different kinds of attributes that you guys have? I know it's like the direction of it, the colors.
Yeah.
Walk me through.
There's different algorithms. So like this is like a grid pattern. We got spirals. We have what we call a fractal. So it's like each square could also be a pattern in of itself. So it gets kind of complex. The size of the square, the depth, the shadow, it's all kind of variables.
Actually, this one is a fractal grid, right?
Yeah,
Correct?
it's like a grid and a grid and a grid.
Yeah. And like if you zoom, if you
like
zoom in the
you'll see
center,
it's
you'll
great and
see.
Never
it's
looked so
great.
closely at
Never
somebody's
ending.
shirt
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So it is, yeah. And so like we started with this because we are like software developers, me and Tranquil. So we know how to code, we don't know how to paint. So unfortunately, we didn't learn that. But we know how to code and to generate this kind of art. So that's what we choose.
Amazing. And how did you guys all meet? Like, how did this team even come about?
I actually was a mentor.
Oh,
And
nice.
then, I have a diverse background in like marketing, growth marketing. So pretty much I kind of stepped up and was like, hey, I really like the project. Are you guys offering any positions? And then, we kind of talked and went from there. And then now I'm kind of heading the marketing at Matrica. So,
Yeah, he started as the community manager. Now he does community management and marketing. Like our whole team comes through our Discord, basically.
Yeah, from our community members.
Yeah.
Most of the team.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But me and Tranquil, we have been
We've known each other
yeah,
like
we've
10
known,
years.
maybe
something
10
like that.
years. Yeah.
Wow.
Like we worked in the Web 2 space before, on the same
Gotcha.
companies and stuff like that.
We've built a lot of social networks on Web 2, and now we're trying to take that knowledge.
Try
and
to
apply
bring
it.
it into the Web 3 space. Yeah.
Nice. Hi everyone, we are at Miami for Solana Miami, and I'm speaking with Ryan, aka, do you want to share your...
Yeah, for sure. My name is Evan Ryer, and I go by Ryan Ever online, so I swapped the first two letters of my first and last name. Gives me a pretty good alter ego, but very easy to identify me. And I'm one of the co-founders, alongside my partner in crime, Jonathan Cohen, behind BR1 Metaverse.
Woo! Nice. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to co-found BR1 and how you got into NFTs.
Well, it's huge. Okay, we're gonna come full circle here.
Tell
And
me your life
all
journey.
really comes full circle. So grew up playing thousands of hours of RuneScape and Rust.
Nice.
Was a big fan of MMORPGs, and I was very distraught that when you died in these games, that basically
It's done.
it's done. You wasted a lot of time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of lost value. In RuneScape specifically, there was a situation where a dev got caught like printing items and selling them on secondary markets, and for the people that grinded for their accounts, it's like, wow, it's really demotivating. That said, wasn't able to play these games, especially when you have real life that you need to maintain at the same time. And ultimately, we sought out with a journey of trying to build tangible secondary market value for the time people commit to video games. And an easy example of that is every single log that you chop in RuneScape being transactable on Magic Eden, or a secondary market, without players actually having to transact through some broken mechanism, risk getting scammed, having a seamless and intuitive way to find liquidity for the time you commit in games. The design budget alone behind building an MMORPG was substantial, and we realized that we could bring our dream to fruition if we concentrated on our shooter game, which was another concept that we had, and leveraging the resources and the assets that we would build out, it would make delivering on the MMO that much easier. And from that came the idea for BR1 Metaverse, which is our gaming metaverse. And within our gaming metaverse, you find our flagship game, BR1 Infinite Royale.
Is this the first game you've ever built?
This is the first game that we've ever built.
Wow.
Prior to this, I built a video game betting platform. It was an esports tournament wagering system where we would monitor your performance in games and enable you to secure wagers based on your performance in these games, and we would automatically allocate the payment to the winners. And sold that to a public company in 2021, and stepped down from my role as a CEO there to build the future of gaming in Web3.
Wow, that's very impressive. This is actually the first time I'm hearing this story. It's awesome. Congratulations on all the success. And so tell us about BR1, what you guys have achieved so far, and your drops to come.
So BR1, we have the BR1 Metaverse and our flagship game, BR1 Infinite
What
Royale.
is BR1?
Bravo Ready 1.
Oh, okay.
So we have our parent company, Bravo Ready, that owns the IP behind the Bravo Ready Metaverse, the BR1 Metaverse. And within the BR1 metaverse, we have our first game, Infinite Royale. And the basic premise of this game is you pay to spawn. And you spawn on the edge of this huge island. There's no timer, there's no start, there's no finish. And you just start working your way towards the center. And as you do, you find greater access to weapons, ammo, and equipment. And as you eliminate players, you earn the greater of 10% of the wealth that they've accrued on them, or their consideration, the spawn fee. So in our $1 game mode, you're earning the greater of 10% or $1. And when you're eliminated, you retain 85% of your earnings, you're kicked out of the game, and you're prompted to, if you want to spawn again and play. To play requires a BR1 operative, which is our NFT. And we released our first set of NFTs on February 3rd, a set of 2,500 Genesis Ape operatives. And on April 16th, we are releasing our Droid operatives. We have our game in closed alpha. We've been really enjoying playing with our community. Would love to have more if you come join us.
Yeah, show some stats about your game. I mean, your game is one of the few that's actually live, right? So how many players do you guys have? What does your community look like?
We have about 25,000 people in our Discord right now. And again, to play the game requires having the BR1 operative. So we're limited to those 2,500 participants, but we have about 25,000 that are eager to hop in. We do allow outside parties to come in and alpha test the actual game. Our servers are packed every single evening. Usually at 8 o'clock, you'll find yourself in queue. You won't be able to actually hop in. And a big part of it is we're trying to build that FOMO, having people playing on Twitch, building engagement for the game, and building a lineup of people that want to hop in.
Gotcha. Cool. And then tell us about how these individual drops contribute towards the game. So you said there's a droid, and then tell us about
what comes from there.
Yeah.
So we have designed the entire mechanism behind BR1 where we're releasing less operatives than there is demand for gameplay. And this is to fuel the use of our rental UI. So there's 2,500 operatives right now, 25,000 people who want to play. We're about to release the next set of droids, bringing our total amount of operatives in circulation to 10,000. Based on, right now, our floor price of our operatives is about $1,000 USD, about 7 Solana. It's a huge barrier to entry. If somebody wants to play our game, it's not fair to have them pay $1,000. That's where the rental UI comes in. You can hop in for just the spawn fee plus a small rental amount, enabling you to experience BR1 Infinite Royale.
Awesome. That's really exciting. Welcome back to another chat at Solana, Miami. We're with Daramola. How's it going?
I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm here.
Chilling.
Yes.
All right. I'm Tiff. I lead marketing for Magic Eden.
Pleasure.
And we're just having quick chats with creators and friends and ecosystem partners. So Daramola, you have a very interesting journey. You are a musician. You are an artist. You are a collection founder. I am a holder, and I got bags.
Let's go. Let's freaking go.
So maybe let's just start from the top. Tell us about yourself. And you grew up in Nigeria, right?
Born and raised. Went to school in London. Moved to the States for college. Finished 2 degrees. Got signed to a record deal, or to a publishing deal, as a producer. And I'm now a performing artist. In addition to being a producer, discovered Web3 about a year and a half ago now. Cryptocurrencies a while ago. NFTs last year, and it's been a movie ever since.
A movie, nice. And so you actually have a ton of monthly listeners, a couple 100,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Tell us a little bit about you as a musician. What kind of genre are you in? What are the types of themes that you sing about? And
I do a lot from like Afro beats to pop music to hip hop music to dance and electronic. As a producer, I get to work with a lot of people. Like I said, I'm signed to Sony, so I worked with the likes of Becky G, Trevor Daniel for the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. I worked with Tiny, whose credits are like Bad Bunny. Basically, like 60% of what you hear in my music. As an artist, I do a little bit of synthesized like Afro synth pop music and R&B. Basically that.
Nice.
And,
Awesome. His music is actually really good. I listen to it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's very.
I appreciate that. Thank you very
the
much.
song designer.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. That's
right. Here we are, Marketplace, loyal fan. All right, so tell us about your journey into NFTs. How'd you get into it, and what made you want to start your own collection?
Found out about NFTs, like I said, last year, and I really like the communal building aspect of things. I was primarily building over on Ethereum-based spaces and all the above. Discovered the Aurora project on my own on Twitter. Decided to mint it, save for bad advice or advice for people don't do it. And I flipped.
No.
Literally. I minted it and I flipped 1 soul to 150 soul
Oh.
in 6 hours.
Okay.
And ever since I was like, okay, what is it with Solana? And I was familiar with Solana, the coin, and I started to get in. I liked the community. I started to do art and all the above. But like I said, I'm a musician, and I've always been fascinated with the idea of merging new technology with art. And our industry, traditional music sense of things, can do it a lot of, Web3 help and innovation and all. But I decided to launch my collection, the Supply Chain Project, based on my 4th studio album. Comes out this year, actually in a couple of months. First single comes out in 2 months, which then launches the B part of my collection. And I just figured, why not put together like a community of people who understand why we're here, for the music, for the art, and essentially for that, essentially as buffers, taking away that middle wall of separation between like consumer and creator that we see in like regular markets and all that stuff. And that's literally been it, like just having direct access to people that will eventually like listen to my music, or people who currently enjoy my music, and giving them an offering based off of that. So yeah, this is like a long spiel for the actual inspiration behind it, but I've done that so many times on Spaces. But it's basically that with the collection you're getting like 12 pieces of one-of-one art as in a digital booklet format, in addition to a PFP project. The PFP essentially is a way for us to, recognize each other as members of this community and their dreams for the community past just dropping the album. And then also comes with my album. So everyone who mints gets a physical copy of my album in vinyl record format. So,
nice.
Yeah, basically.
Awesome.
We're sitting pretty now, there's been a lot of sweeping the floors. It's interesting because we minted January 31st and we've been able to maintain a healthy floor primarily because of, people just believe in a vision, I guess. We've had 450 listed, an average of, in the past few weeks, it's been an average of like 17 to 20 listed at any given time. Yeah, it's been pretty cool.
What are your thoughts about music NFTs in general? Where are they right now on Solana?
I don't think music is where it will be. And I use will with like hope that people will start to understand the perceived value of that art form. On not just on Solana, on any blockchain, music is not, in my opinion at least, music is not where it needs to be yet, but I think we're getting there, which is why I've taken the form to innovate the innovate. And it's like, how can I give something to people in a language they understand? And the language right now, or at least the most popular language right now with regards to NFTs, for some reason has to be art, right? So it's like, okay, how do I put this and mix this with this and then serve the music? So I think in due time, when the time is right, when people start to wake up to that reality, I think there will be a lot of appreciation for music culture, and you actually see songs being valued at prices that artwork and art pieces are valued at.
Yeah, absolutely.